Northern Nigeria residents lament hardship fueled by lingering power outage in the region. Taraba tricycle operators block Jalingo Highway in protest over alleged police extortion. Military debunks report of alleged military camp takeover by terrorists in Niger State. On the foreign scene, scores killed as heavy rains, flash floods hit Spain. This is a news update on Trust TV. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thank you for joining us on the news. Now, residents of Jos, the Plateau State capital, are lamenting over the hardship caused by the lingering power outage in the state. Trust TV reports that hardship continues to bite harder in 17 northern states, including Plateau State, following the tripping off of a 330 kilovolt transmission line between Benue and Enugu states and the destruction of the Shiroro-Kaduna transmission line. Adomusa completes the report.
The hardship caused by the power outage has entered its 10th day, and Nigerians across the country have continued to lament the impact on their lives and businesses. In Jos, residents, especially women, are lamenting that the situation has caused them to lose perishable items said to be using at later times.
Honestly, we are suffering from electricity problem. We cannot grind maize to prepare food for the family. If you go to the market, you can't afford the maize flour because it's very expensive. We are really suffering.
We have found
ourselves in this difficult situation because of the power outage. We cannot charge our phones. Getting water is very difficult now because borehole owners who assist people with water cannot afford fuel to power generators. Water is everything, but we cannot get it now. We are really suffering. We buy a truck of water of 10 jerrycan at the rate of 1,000 naira as against 500 naira that we used to buy. The tomatoes and other perishables that we store in the fridge have spoiled. We cannot cook food because we cannot grind anything. Price of everything has gone up. Where are we heading to in this country?
Muhammad Jabir is a commercial borehole operator. He explained why he stopped operation. Due to the power outage, we can't operate on generator because fuel is very expensive. My borehole is in good state at the moment, but there is no power to operate it. That is why people are suffering. We call on government to intervene. The Transmission Company of Nigeria has stated that the restoration of the Apil Ogaji line has taken too long to complete due to insecurity in the area. Adomusa, Trust TV News, Jos.
The Grain Millers Association in Bauchi State has expressed dismay over the alleged lack of commitment to the plight of the region by the Northern Governors Forum. The group stated this following the power outage in the region, which has collapsed their activities for more than 2 weeks. Trust TV's Adamo Imam completes the report.
Some members of the Grain Millers Association lamented that they only rely on their daily activities to put food on the table for their families, noting that they become redundant and confused following the prolonged power outage.
We have about 250 members here. Each household can confirm that they are confused on what to do amidst this power outage for more than 2 weeks now. Some remain at home, calculating their losses. Some have been rendered beggars. They're always lamenting on how to find solution to this problem.
But I didn't see any change. I didn't expect any such a thing to come from this government because we have high hope of this government that will bring a lot of change that we suppose. But we are not still losing hope. We hope that they will do what is more like this.
In the same vein, some ice block vendors in the state said they have no alternative rather than to shut down their business and look for other means of survival, while Abdul Salam says they have no choice than to increase the price of grinded maize.
Because of this power outage, we too are paying charges of 3,500 to 5,000 naira before grinding one sack of maize. We don't have choice than to increase the price of grinded maize. Our governors engaged in meeting on Tuesday. They went there to represent their interest. So we heard that they went to discuss issues of internally generated revenue in relation to federal government allocation, not in our interest. So they used the advantage to talk about the current problem we are facing, but that is not the main reason for their meeting in Kaduna.
Meanwhile, some governors from the northeast and northwestern region have been meeting to discuss on how to overcome the challenges bedeviling the zones, especially from the affected 17 states. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Barely 3 weeks after raising the price of premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, Nigerians were outraged when the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited on Tuesday adjusted the pump prices of the commodity, as oil marketers foresee further price hikes in the short term. The national oil firm raised the retail price of petrol in Abuja to 1,060 naira from 1,030 naira per litre. In Lagos, it was confirmed that NNPCL stations increased the unit price of the commodity from 998 naira to 1,025 naira per litre, which received widespread criticisms from the organized private sector, civil society organizations, and Nigerians in general. Experts and key followers of the Nigerian oil and gas sector fear inflation in the country may further skyrocket following the latest hike. Over in Jalingo, the Taraba State Capital tricycle operators, popularly known as Kekena Pep Riders, on Tuesday blocked the major highway in the state capital over alleged extortion by the police. The blockade lasted over 2 hours, was said to have disrupted free flow of traffic within the city centre. Here's the report.
The chairman Kekena Pep Riders in Jalingo, Nasiru Garba, who spoke shortly after the protest, lamented that some traffic police officers have been harassing members of the group under the guise of wrong parking and other excuses, all get was extorting money from them. Garba noted that those who fail to give them money will be arrested, charged, and taken to the station.
We were in the office when we heard that the 4 traffic police officers were involved in a fight with our members at a roadblock. We went there to settle the case, but the place was too rowdy and crowded. Everybody around that place knows those traffic officers because we report them severally to the DC, and he has promised to take all the necessary action to stop this from happening.
Another branch chairman of the Keke Riders, Saad Isiaka, found out the attitude of some security personnel who use their uniforms as a tool to violate the rights of the citizens.
What happened at the roadblock today is just unfortunate. The attitude of security personnel who always come to extort us via unnecessary taxes is not fair. They caught my boy yesterday around NNPC filling station and collected 1,500 naira from him for no reason. Yes, our Keke riders did not do well, but the security personnel are the cause of everything. They don't wear uniform, but will instead disguise and enter the Keke, arrest the rider without taking us to the station. They will only ask us to settle them there through bribes. When we refuse, then they will call their people from the station to come and arrest us without any reason.
Some eyewitnesses described the altercation as unnecessary and called for an amicable solution to the fracas.
What happened today at the roadblock is that one of our riders parked behind a car that parked in no parking area, and the traffic did not accost the car but entered the keke and asked the rider to bring something because he parked at a no parking area. But the rider tried to explain to the traffic police that the place is a parking place since there was no sign displaying no parking. The disagreement led to an altercation that saw other riders blocking the road. It took the intervention of the military to settle the scuffle. To be frank, these people are not fair to us. The security personnel will come and enter your vehicle in mufti, waiting for you to drop your passenger. If you mistakenly stop at no parking area, he will arrest you and ask you to do something and go. If not, they will take us to their station and arrest us there. I don't know much about what happened, but I heard that one keke driver wanted to park beside the highway. In fact, he did not even stop, and the traffic police entered the keke and asked the rider to bring something. When he refused, a fight ensued, and other riders in the area joined their colleagues to beat up the officer before military officers arrived and calmed the situation.
The Union of the Keke Riders, as well as operators, called on the security agencies to reduce the taxes they impose on them to enable them make profit from their trade. Attempt to speak with the police public relations officer of the Taraba State Command proved abortive.
From the northeast, we go to the south-south, where the River State Police Command says it has arrested 3 female officers involved in extortion of motorists in Port Harcourt, the state capital. The spokesperson of the State Police Command, SP Grace Iringe Koko, in a statement issued in Port Harcourt on Wednesday, said the erring officers were arrested following a coordinated monitoring patrol by operatives from the Commissioner of Police team. Koko said the operation, conducted under the Rumokoro flyover around 3 p.m., led to the arrest of Inspector Sarah Anendie, Inspector Caroline Promise, and Inspector Christiana Leto, who were all caught engaging in the corrupt practice against innocent motorists under the flyover. She said Inspectors Caroline Promise and Christiana Leto were found engaging in the unprofessional act while in mufti, saying their behavior contravenes police standards. The statement added that the officers are currently detained and awaiting appropriate disciplinary measures. The Military High Command on Wednesday dismissed a report alleging that one of its training camps in Kutungora local government area of Niger State was overrun by terrorists. It specifically described the claims of the Niger State House of Assembly that the largest military camp has been taken over by the terrorists as untrue and incorrect. Daily Trust had reported how the Niger State House of Assembly raised an alarm over the occupation of Nigeria's largest military training camp in the area by bandits. The lawmakers claimed that the bandits' activities in the area had displaced 23 communities around the Nagwamasi military cantonment in the Kutungora local council headquarters. But reacting to the claim, Director Defense Media Operations Edward Buba said troops have constantly eliminated the threat posed by terrorists crossing the vast area. Although Buba did not deny the presence of terrorists in the area, he maintained that the troops deployed to contain activities of the criminals have denied them freedom of action. Still security, the Public Relations Officer of the Lagos State Police Command, Benjamin Hundeyin, has revealed that a juvenile welfare center located beside the Alakara police station in Moshi, Lagos State, has been a beacon of hope for vulnerable children for more than 5 decades. Established over 50 years ago by the Nigerian Police Force, the center has provided emergency shelter and care to countless children in need, including the abandoned, destitute, and those who have come into contact with the law. According to the PRO, the center has played a critical role in offering protection and a safe space for children during their most difficult moments. According to Udain, the Juvenile Welfare Center remains an essential part of Lagos State's efforts to address child welfare and protection, ensuring that the most vulnerable are not left without support.
Well, the center has been functioning. The major challenge is that the capacity, the facility is being overstretched. It's being stretched beyond its capacity. So it gets to, there are times when they just cannot take more children because it's filled to capacity. And in such cases, we'll liaise with the Ministry of Youth and Social Development to take in some of these children into other shelters, government shelters, or into orphanages. So that's the only, perhaps the only challenge we have.
Over in Kano State, the Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf has announced a new minimum wage of 71,000 naira for civil servants effective November 2024. The Governor made this announcement Tuesday while receiving the Kano State Public Service Negotiation Committee report at his office. Governor Yusuf emphasized the necessity of enhancing service delivery and fostering collaboration among civil servants in the state.
The new minimum wage will be effective from November 1st, 2024 by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And let me say that its implementation will increase our monthly salary obligations by over 6 billion naira.
This is the news update on Trust TV. Still to come. Adamawa government moved to mitigate the impact of farmer herder crisis in communities. More when we return. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. A recap of our top stories. Northern Nigeria residents lament hardship fueled by lingering power outage in the region. It also informs you that in Taraba, tricycle operators blocked Jalingo Highway in protest over alleged police extortion. Adamawa State Governor Amadu Marufintiri has highlighted the benefits of peaceful coexistence among different ethnic nationalities in order to promote development and foster security of lives and properties. The governor, during his visit to the Kokte community in the Wataundi district of the Song local government area following a recent clash between farmers and herders, warned worried parties to desist from violence. Gibson Swadigo has more.
The governor, accompanied by the service commanders in the state, visited Kokta as part of a sympathy mission after the violent outbreak. Represented by his deputy, Kaleta Pofarauta, the governor urged the conflicting parties to seek unity rather than division. He encouraged the strengthening of alternative dispute resolution committees within the communities, warning the violence will not yield positive results.
The governor said to let them know that unless we have peace, herders will not go for their rearing and farmers will not go to the farm. And because we have been living for decades together, it is very important that we go back to those basics of living together in peace with one another, because peace is non-negotiable if you want development.
The State Commissioner of Police, Maurice Ankombo, reminded community members that peace is essential for development and discouraged individuals from taking the law into their hands. He added that investigations are ongoing to determine the root cause of the conflict.
Enough is enough. This should be the last incident that will happen in this community. Look at the historical existence of this community. The Fulani people and the Yungur people, they have been living in this community over a long period of time. Why must you carry arms and begin to fight yourself?
There were also calls for the government to establish a security outpost in the area, which residents believe will enhance security to avert future clashes between herders and farmers. Gibson Soadigo, Trust TV News, Yola.
The Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA) has temporarily suspended the release of cleared cargoes from the Apapa Port complex due to congestion issues currently affecting the port. This development is expected to impact logistics, the supply chain, and the overall efficiency of cargo movement in and out of one of Nigeria's busiest ports. In an official notice addressed to the trucking sector of the maritime industry, Truck Transit Parks, the traffic management firm responsible for coordinating the movement of trucks along the Apapa Port corridor, announced the halt in truck releases from the Lagos Port Complex's pre-gate area. The notice attributed the decision to the ongoing severe congestion and explained that the port management is closely monitoring the situation to determine when normal operations can resume. The congestion created a bottleneck in the port, delaying the flow of goods and hampering both local and international trade activities. Away from Nigeria, at least 64 people have died in eastern Spain after flash floods swept away cars, turned village streets into rivers, and disrupted rail lines and highways in the worst natural disaster to hit the European nation in recent history. Emergency services in the eastern region of Valencia confirmed a death toll of 62 people on Wednesday. Another 2 casualties were reported in the neighboring Castilla-La Mancha region. Rainstorms on Tuesday caused flooding in a wide swath of southern and eastern Spain, stretching from Malaga to Valencia. Mud-colored floods sent vehicles tumbling down streets at high speeds, while pieces of wood swirled in the water mixed with household items. Police and rescue services used helicopters to lift people from their homes and rubber boats to reach drivers trapped on the roofs of the cars. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said dozens of towns had been flooded and warned that the danger is not over. The death toll will likely rise, with other regions yet to report victims and search efforts continuing in areas with difficult access. And in sports, Flying Eagles head coach Aliyu Zubairu is in buoyant mood ahead of his side's clash with Ghana. The holders will take on the Black Satellites in the final of the WAFU B Under-20 Championship in Lomé on Wednesday night. Zubairu's side have recovered from their slow start to earn a berth in the final of the competition. The golfer recognized the strength of the Ghanaians but insisted they will exploit their weakness. According to him, the team is prepared and is going all out as defending champions will want to retain their title. That's it for News Update at this time. For more of our news programs and documentaries, do also follow us on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thank you for joining us. Good evening.